Whoa!
Dude, nothing's booking it! Go!
Dude, I'm trying.
Oh, shit, go!
What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey!
They shot my truck. They legitimately shot the windows on my truck.
Thank you for listening.
They just stood outside my tent talking.
Meet Lee, the creator behind the YouTube channel Abandoned World Explorer, a channel built around late-night explorations of isolated places. On June 20th, 2021, Lee and his group set out to film a series of random location challenges. The idea was simple: let chance decide where they go. But that randomness would lead them somewhere far more unsettling than they ever expected.
What's the matter? Huh? Where is it? What's that, the woods?
Yeah, I don't normally go down that bit.
So that we've got to go across there. Guys, it's 6 minutes. 6 minutes away, it's not even that far. It's 6 minutes away. And yeah, let's go. Mate, how creepy it is up here, bro. It's dark, eh?
It's the woods.
Can't even literally focus, man. The footpath's still showing. Up there with that. Pin's up there, bro. Oh. I was thinking like something creepy, bro. Like spooky vibes.
As the night went on, their generated destination pushed them deeper into a wooded area, far from any public path. The further they went, the more the atmosphere seemed to shift. The trail ahead narrowed, overgrown and difficult to follow, with no clear sense of where it would end. It was the kind of place that already feels wrong before anything even happens. Still, driven by curiosity, they kept moving forward. Eventually, they stumbled upon something they weren't prepared for.
It's our house. Hey boys, there's like a structure. There's like a structure over there that was there. You know, it's a pin's right there, bro. It's in front. I'm going up there. I don't know. There's someone over there. No, there ain't. There's a fire, bro. No, don't just keep up. Someone's living here, bro. There's no one here. There's no one here. Bro, what is that? It's a door. It's a bin. Mate, what is this? Someone's been living here, man. There's a Ouija board.
Maybe we should be here, guys.
There's food, man, and everything. What's all this about?
There's
There's someone around. There's a fire here, bro. What's that? Oh, what? This is a wind-up, man.
Let's get out of here.
Is that our love will never die?
A makeshift structure hidden among the trees. Around it were clear signs of recent activity, scattered food, random objects, and, most disturbingly, a Ouija board placed among the mess. In that moment, the entire tone changed. This wasn't just an abandoned spot. Someone had been there, or worse, still was.
It's in the trees. Out on the trees, there's all marks. Every tree's got... There's someone down there, man. Quick, go over here, go. Go. There's someone over there, you dickhead. There's someone there. Turn the light off, turn the light off. Shush. Shush. There's someone Boys, don't fucking move. Oh shit, see, someone told you someone there. How the fuck are we gonna get out? We need to go back that way. Shit, ring the police, ring the police. We need to ring the bill, how are we gonna get out of here? Come on, get down. Get down.
Then, from beyond the structure, something moved. A figure appeared briefly in the distance, partially hidden, watching them. It didn't step forward, didn't speak, but it didn't leave either. The sight was quick, unclear, but undeniably real. As they tried to make sense of what they were seeing, more movement followed, subtle, deliberate. Enough to confirm one thing: they weren't alone, and whatever was out there was aware of them.
You know, James, what's he doing? Boys, we need to get out of here now. I can't even move. We can't even fucking move. Whoa. Say so. Ring the fucking police. Ring the police now. Ring the fucking police. I'm not even joking, boys. Ring the police. What is he doing, man? He's going to burn.
The situation escalated fast. The figure never fully revealed itself, instead shifting through the darkness, staying just out of view. Its movements felt controlled, intentional, almost like it was studying them.
Wait, I can't see. Go! I can't see! Go! Dude, fuck is that? No, we're gonna ring the police. Go! Joe, ring the police! Still coming! Huh? Still coming, I stopped and he's just... No, fucking just go. Mark, ring the police.
With no way to identify who they were dealing with, or what their intentions might be, the group made the only decision they could. They ran. As they tried to retrace their path, the feeling of being followed only grew stronger. The darkness closed in, visibility dropped, and the unfamiliar terrain made every step uncertain. Every sound behind them felt closer than it should have been. The distance back felt longer, heavier, as if the forest itself didn't want to let them go. But they didn't stop. What started as a simple exploration turned into a desperate escape. And by the time they finally made it back to safety, one thing was clear. Whatever they had encountered in those woods wasn't random. It wasn't abandoned. It wasn't forgotten. It was occupied. And the presence they felt out there didn't behave like someone just passing through. It stayed hidden. It watched. It waited. Which raises the question, if they hadn't left when they did, what would have happened next? This encounter comes from the YouTube channel Brothers Wild, run by Louis Weiss and Ash, where they document outdoor adventures ranging from camping and hiking to paranormal explorations in remote, often unsettling locations. On February 24th, 2024, Ash set out on an overnight camping trip with his friend Rich. Their destination was Bersham Woods, near the ruins of Bersham Ironworks, a place steeped in a long and tragic history. What was meant to be a quiet night in nature would soon turn into something far more disturbing. After arriving, the two found a secluded spot near the old ruins and began setting up camp. At first, everything felt normal. The forest was calm, still, and peaceful, the kind of silence you expect deep in the wilderness. But that calm didn't last.
Do a read-in later on and try and make contact with anyone or any lost soul or energy, whatever you want to believe it is. Yeah, just for you guys, But yeah, apart from that, absolutely beautiful place. We're just collecting firewood now. So yeah, running the cheap stuff tonight. Blended Scotch whiskey from the co-op. £8 something. Burn your finger.
I'm looking turtle.
Yeah. We're just starting to get the fire going now as well. What was that?
That wasn't me. It was hot.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, it was hot.
We're just starting to get the fire going now as well. There's no one around.
That was weird.
That was really loud.
Yeah. There's nobody.
What the hell? So I got the fire started. Rich is going to keep it going.
As Ash sat by the fire, sipping whiskey, a sudden sound broke through the silence, a loud human scream echoing through the trees. Both of them froze. Just moments earlier, the forest had been completely quiet. Earlier, Ash had already explored the surrounding area and found no sign of anyone, no movement, no voices, nothing. So, where had the scream come from? Unsettled but unsure, they tried to rationalize it, brushing it off as their imagination or perhaps some distant, unidentifiable noise. Deciding not to overreact, they continued with their night. Later, Ash brought out a spirit talker and began a session. At first, there was nothing, just silence. But that silence didn't last long.
Oh my god! Did you hear that? You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
loud.
It's fine.
I'm trying not to freak out now.
Fuck's that?
That sounds like screaming and
moaning, yeah.
I hear a humming. I hear a humming. That is spooky, Rick. That's really, really spooky, mate.
It's very deep in the woods now, isn't it?
Hang on. It sounds like about 20, 30 people.
You're miles away from the... What's... It's a long walk to get here, isn't it? A long quiet night
What
to get
is
here.
that?
Out of nowhere, the stillness of the forest shattered again. This time, it wasn't just one sound. It was many. Muffled voices, distant screams, and chaotic noise began echoing through the woods. Ash and Rich froze, listening carefully. The more they focused, the clearer it became. They weren't alone. It sounded like a crowd. Not just a few people, but dozens. 20, maybe 30 voices all coming from somewhere deep within the forest. That realization changed everything. In the middle of the night, in an isolated woodland, the idea of a large group of unseen people nearby was deeply unsettling. Carefully, they decided to move toward the source of the noise, hoping to understand what was happening.
I see lights. What the hell is this? quiet, be quiet, yeah? Don't get seen. Don't get seen, don't get seen. Some sort of ritual things going on right now. They got people in the waterfall naked. They're all fucking naked. Oh my god. Right, let's go. Let's get out of here, mate. Oh my god. That is not normal, guys. We're getting out of here. They're all naked, swimming in the waterfall, chanting. That is weird. That's witchcraft stuff. Let's get out of here. So we just got back to camp, guys, and that was scary, right? That was not normal, right? That was not normal for this place. They are screaming and chanting in the background, and they're swimming. You can hear them now. It sounds so demonic.
Right.
It's too late too cold to be doing that. It sounds so demonic what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're real. I don't know if they were ghosts. I don't know if this camera's picked it up. I need to look back at the footage. I'm getting so excited and so nervous at the same time.
As they walked deeper into the darkness, the sounds grew louder and stranger. It wasn't normal conversation. It sounded like chanting. Dozens of voices layered over each other, shouting, screaming, moving in rhythm. The noise echoed unnaturally through the trees, creating an atmosphere that felt heavy, almost oppressive. Then they saw it. Near a waterfall, a group of people, completely naked, were gathered in the water. They were swimming, dancing, and chanting loudly in unison. There were at least 20 of them, all moving in a strangely synchronized way, as if participating in some kind of ritual. At one point, Ash and Rich even captured a figure on camera walking up a nearby hill, separating from the group. The scene made no sense. It was freezing cold, yet these people were fully submerged in water, acting as if they were unaffected. The chanting, the movements, the timing, it all felt deliberate, almost ritualistic. Not random, not normal. Shocked and uneasy, Ash and Rich chose not to get any closer. Whatever was happening, they didn't want to be a part of it. They quietly backed away and returned to their campsite. Navigating the terrain in complete darkness was risky, so they made the decision to stay put for the rest of the night, despite the fear. Sleep was out of the question. They waited until morning. At first light, they packed up and left the forest, still trying to process what they had witnessed. Connor is the kind of YouTuber who documents his adventures, usually heading out with friends to explore forests, deserts, and abandoned places. Most of the time, it's just harmless fun. Nothing serious ever happens. But in this particular video, something unfolds that still doesn't quite make sense.
So we were gonna go to the tunnels, but I don't want to really go there anymore after what's happened.
Look, it's a kitty cat.
Freaking heck, dude! I keep running it. Okay, this light likes to start sputtering. Okay, so there's a wash over here. Oh, dude, I hate how dark it is. Oh my gosh. Come on.
Light sucks, bro.
At first, everything feels normal. They're walking along a dusty road, making their way deeper into the desert toward an abandoned tunnel. Connor and his friend are joking around, acting like most teenage explorers do, wandering into places they probably shouldn't, but enjoying the thrill of it. Then things start to shift.
Can you see that?
Wait. Look through the... I don't know.
Okay, carry on. This is a great start. My gosh.
Dude, I'm like shaking.
Last time I was out here, and I was like freaking 12. I don't even know how I had the guts. Gosh, I hate those freaking bushes.
I know. Something's just gonna grab you.
That's you brushing up against my leg.
Dude.
What?
Dude, shine your light right here.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh my gosh, dude. No way. Okay.
Holy. What? Hello?
Dude. I don't want to go on now. Hey.
Hello? Dude.
Okay, we get it.
Wait.
It's funny. Know why you're scaring us.
Dude. I don't even feel comfortable going. Where are we supposed
Okay,
to be?
I bet you it's.
Where are we supposed
We
to be?
just literally. My God.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, it's not funny. It's like right there, dude. Oh my gosh.
Dude, that thing's not human. I'm serious.
That
That thing's
really-
huge.
I bet you it is just a kid. Okay, we get it, it's funny.
It's a big kid. Okay, let's just walk.
Alright.
Here.
Okay, we're just gonna.
Keep going.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Screw you.
Seriously. I hate retards who do that.
They begin to hear strange noises coming from the nearby bushes. It's faint, subtle, but definitely there. At first they brush it off, even laugh about it, assuming it's just someone trying to mess with them. But when they finally reach the tunnel, that assumption falls apart.
Come on out. Do you see anything?
No.
Oh my dude.
What? Dude. Oh.
Okay. We're going.
You gotta go! Dude, that thing's booking it! Go!
Dude, I'm trying.
Oh shit, go! Dude, go! Oh my gosh!
Coming?
Dude! He's right there!
Out of the darkness, something emerges, not walking, but crawling. A small, unnatural figure, barely human in appearance, moving in a way that's difficult to describe. Almost wrong. Now, some people argue that the clip is staged, or CGI. But this video was uploaded over 7 years ago, and considering how young they were at the time, pulling off something that convincing seems unlikely. Earlier in the video, they even mentioned being close to Area 51, and while it might sound like a stretch, it does make you wonder, was it just an elaborate hoax, something misunderstood in the dark, or something else entirely? Whatever it was, it's one of those moments that leaves more questions than answers, and honestly, I'm not sure we'll ever know the truth. On January 1st, 2024, a Belgian YouTuber known as CIA uploaded a video titled "The Night I'll Never Forget." Right from the opening moments, he issues a warning about what viewers are about to witness, and that alone hints that something seriously unsettling is coming. In the video, Kaz explains that he and two friends decided to revisit an abandoned bungalow park in Belgium. It wasn't their first time there, and in the past, nothing unusual had ever happened. But this visit felt off from the very beginning, like something in the atmosphere had changed.
Privaat, dit is in plaats van gebed. Gelief onze ruimte respecteren. Gebed. En daar staat op, pas op, waakhond. Ja, ik ben hier heel lang geleden eens geweest en stond hier vol met bungalows, met campings, met caravans, mobile homes, midden in het bos, allemaal verspreid, super vet. En ineens is hier een waakhond.
Ja, hier staat dat bordje met dat.
Ja?
Als je nu hier zo inslagen, zonder dat wegje, zet je ook gewoon binnen.
Ja, dat is waar, want dat is niet afgezet.
Dat is
Hè?
niks
Als je verder parkeert en je wandelt hier binnen.
Waar zag je dat staan?
Die staat daar zo bij een hutje.
Bij die houten dingen.
Maar dat is hier veranderd tot een gebedding, want wat staat hierop? Dit is een gebedplaats.
Maar dat is gewoon tak.
Ja, dat hebben ze hier gewoon zelf gemaakt. Kijk, dat is maar dat is hier gewoon een zigeunerkamp of een hippie-camping of zo geworden.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier wandelen?
Hoort je het? Die deur, die wint niet. Ik hoorde zo...
Nee, dat was een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Oh,
Oh, nee.
waar is dat?
Dat was een deur.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Ik kan de wind ook gaan, ja.
Schijnen zo.
Oh.
Maat, ik hoor voetstappen.
Ik hoor van alles hier. Dit is zo fucking eng. Oh, maat.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen?
Moet je een boffing op wachten.
Dit is zo creepy, maat. Dit is zo creepy, what the fuck? Ja, hoor. Hoor, daar is. Dat is daar rechts. Ja.
Volgens mij is dat gewoon een radio dan.
Dat kan ook, ja. Muziek. JBL Partybox on the go. Ja, maar het zijn hippies of zo.
Nee, ja,
Dat kan toch niet anders? Wie? Dat is zelf gemaakt. Die paal, dat kop ik in de hubo en ik stik die paal hier in de grond. Daar ziet je een hutje.
As they moved deeper into the area, they came across a barrier with a sign that read Plaats van Gebed, meaning place of prayer. The message made them uneasy, but curiosity got the better of them, and they chose to continue exploring. Not long after, the situation took a terrifying turn.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Hier, maat. Hier wordt letterlijk iemand gemarteld. Hier wordt letterlijk iemand gemarteld in dat bos. Dit is heel fucked. Daar is geen licht, kijk. Daar is geen licht. Dit is heel fucked. Wat? Kom verder. Stel je voor, dat was mijn auto. What the fuck is dit, kerel? Die zit wel ook. Ja, wat komt daar? Ik zie ze. Zit daar in een lampje. Zo rechts. Ja, die komt naar hier. Kom naar hier. Kom naar hier. Blijf gewoon hier. Lamp aan of niet? Hallo? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey! Oh! Wat? Kom! Kom! Kom!
From somewhere deep within the forest, they suddenly heard strange, echoing screams. Instinctively, they shut off their lights and froze in place. That's when they noticed a figure emerging from the darkness, slowly making its way toward them. As it got closer, the reality became clear. It was a woman, and in her hand, she was holding an axe. Panic set in instantly. Without thinking, the three friends split up, each running in a different direction through the pitch-black woods. Kaz eventually found a place to hide and managed to call the police while trying to stay as quiet as possible.
Ja, wacht. Hallo? Hallo? Je moet nu naar hier komen. Fuck. Ik hoor u niet, sorry. We zijn... Hallo? Ja, we zitten hier in een bos in de Centerlo. We zijn hier in een bos en dat is een verlaten bungalowpark. En ineens komt er een man met een mes of zoiets op ons af. We zijn er met 3. En ik hoorde ook kloppen. Ik denk dat mijn auto kapot is geslagen. En we zijn vies aan het lopen. Zijn Jurissen. Kom alsjeblieft heel snel. Oké, ik heb de politie gebeld. Ik heb de politie gebeld.
Minutes later, officers arrived and were able to locate the woman. It was later revealed that she lived near the abandoned site and was dealing with severe mental illness. Even though the situation was eventually brought under control, the experience left a lasting impact. Kaz was reportedly shaken for months afterward, and it's not hard to understand why. Being chased through a dark forest by someone armed with an axe, that's the kind of nightmare that sticks with you long after it's over. Meet Thomas, the face behind the YouTube channel Thomas Ominous Danger Vlog. Known for his outdoorsy content with a deeply personal twist, Thomas treats his channel like a journal. He doesn't just document where he goes, he shares how he feels, what he's thinking, and the emotions that come with being alone in the wild. On this day, he sets out on what's meant to be a simple camping trip in a forest, just 20 minutes from his home. At his side is his loyal companion, Archie. It should be familiar, comfortable, safe, but it doesn't stay that way for long.
Archie? Archie? What's that about?
As they walk through the forest searching for the perfect place to set up camp, Archie's behavior begins to change. Normally, calm and glued to Thomas's side, the dog grows restless, darting back and forth, sniffing the air with an intensity that feels unnatural. Thomas notices immediately. A quiet sense of unease settles in. Maybe Archie is sensing something Thomas can't.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll get some food going, some smidge spray on, and then I'll see how I feel. Just doesn't feel right.
When Thomas stops to prepare dinner, that uneasy feeling only grows stronger. Archie freezes, his eyes locked onto a specific spot deep within the trees. His tail drops low. The once relaxed dog now looks tense, alert, afraid.
This dog's tail, he keeps looking over there. His tail. It's just completely dropped. He keeps looking in that direction. Does that prove that something feels genuinely off? We're out here, man.
Thomas can't shake the feeling that they're not alone. Every minute that passes makes the forest feel heavier, closer. Archie's behavior becomes impossible to ignore, and Thomas realizes he's pushing his luck. Trusting his instincts and his dog, he decides it's time to leave.
My fears were justified if it was just like my mind clearly playing tricks on me. That Archie was actually super calm and that it was nothing. But man, that didn't feel like nothing. Bad vibes, man. Bad vibes. I don't feel the slightest bit of regret. I feel that I've made the right choice.
They head back toward the car, Thomas's heart pounding with each step. Just as they reach it, a sound stops him cold.
What the fuck was that? You won't have heard that because I've got my mic on me. Can you hear that? Let me switch my mic off. I'm not messing around. I really hope the mic picked up. All the hairs on my back are up right now.
From somewhere deep within the forest comes a long, chilling howl, unlike anything Thomas has ever heard. It doesn't sound like any animal he recognizes. It lingers in the air, echoing between the trees. Whether it was a wild creature or something far more sinister, Thomas doesn't wait to find out. He jumps into the car, Archie beside him, and speeds away, knowing without a doubt that leaving was the right decision. Mo Sargi is a YouTuber, famous for camping in some of the most haunted and mysterious places imaginable. Known for his fearless nature and fascination with the unknown, Mo sets out on what seems like a routine adventure, this time on his own abandoned property in Canada. Joining him is his close friend Moshi. What begins as a calm, almost playful day soon spirals into a night of pure terror. The day starts normally. Mo and Moshi set up their hammocks, prepare their campsite, and decide to mess around with a bow and arrow to pass the time. Their target is a creepy mask they find nearby, something that seems harmless at first, almost like a joke. But that mask would soon become an unsettling symbol of what was to come. When Moshi fires an arrow, it sails deep into the woods. As he heads off to retrieve it, he stumbles upon something disturbing.
Yo! You're going the wrong way! Are you lost? I think he's going the wrong way. I'm over here! You're going the wrong way, bro. Did you get lost or something? What?
There's a guy right there.
There's a guy?
Oh, a guy right there.
What do you mean there's a guy?
Over to your property.
There's a guy.
There's a guy right there.
Where?
Dude,
What did he look like? What did he look like?
he had like a outfit on, like a camouflage, greenish.
Actually?
Yeah, he's right there.
He's just wearing camo.
Camo?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still here.
Oh, that's the camo man? Oh my god, man.
I'm kind of scared, man.
Still think it's bright outside.
Where
He was down there to the left.
Hello? He was wearing his camo?
Yeah, down there to the left.
What color was it?
It was like greenish, but there's different shades of green. It's kind of like different shades of gray, but green version.
So he's still trying to blend into this
Yeah.
environment. God damn it with this guy.
Who is he? Is he just a random guy that lives here?
From what I found his diary last year, or last fall, before I left for the Dominican.
Yeah.
He had a diary, and in the diary had like pictures of me. Like photoshopped with like a noose around my neck, and this guy hates me. Apparently he was a longtime fan, and he tried to reach out to me to help him out with money, and I never replied apparently.
A man standing on Mo's private property. The figure is dressed head to toe in camouflage. Mo instantly recognizes him. This is the same man he had encountered on a previous trip, the one who had fled into the forest when spotted, leaving behind something far more chilling, a diary filled with photographs of Mo, all taken secretly from the shadows. It was clear now. This man, known as the Camo Man, had been watching Mo for a long time. Shaken but determined, Mo and Moshi decide to search the area, hoping to confront him and force him off the property. They scan the woods, calling out, checking every direction. But the Camo Man is gone, vanished without a trace. Still, the feeling of being watched never leaves. Hoping to throw him off, they decide to leave the forest temporarily, making it seem like they've packed up for good.
I have a feeling we're being watched, bro.
After nightfall, they quietly return. But instead of peace, the unease only grows stronger. As they begin to drift off to sleep, something terrifying breaks the silence.
Oh, what the fuck was that? What was that?
What do you mean?
There's someone just walking around.
No.
I heard it. I swear to God, he's here. Bro, don't stress me out, man.
Bro, I was literally just following this.
Is this a prank?
Huh?
Are you pranking me?
No, I'm not pranking you. I heard somebody walking around. Like actually somebody walking around. Where's the T-Move flashlight, the bright one?
I don't know.
You have it?
Yeah.
Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Mo wakes first, then Moshi. Grabbing their flashlights, they scan the darkness. At first, there's nothing, just trees and shadows. Then it happens.
Watching us.
Bro, I'm not doing this. No. I can't.
Hey, grab the camera. It wasn't animals, it was literally human. So I just reviewed my footage. It definitely sounded like somebody was walking around back there. So Moshi and I are gonna go look for whoever the it was. I believe the camo guy is literally watching us literally as we speak. I don't know where he is. The guy's all camoed out. But we're definitely gonna find him tonight. Oh, what the Yo, what the Hey! That was him. Watch your step. That was him. Oh, did he go?
Somewhere in the forest, the Camo Man is there again. He can see them clearly, but they can't see him. Not yet. The realization hits hard as the encounter unfolds, and suddenly everything feels dangerously real. Understanding the risk, Mo and Moshi abandon the idea of chasing him and retreat back toward camp. But the sense of danger doesn't fade. If anything, it intensifies. They're no longer being watched by just one presence. It feels like two figures are now moving through the forest with them, staying just out of sight.
Do you want to go back to the campsite and regroup?
And do what? We just left the campsite. We want to find this guy. Either he's luring us to a trap.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm saying. Because right now we're in unknown territory, right? Like he might have set something up.
Right. Well, no, we're in my territory. It's not unknown. I know all these like trails and stuff, right? But he's hiding somewhere. If I can see any other flashlights, but I don't see anything. Man, this Timu light makes everything creepier here, dude. What the hell? Logan! What the fuck was that? Oh, what the fuck? Oh! Bro, what the hell? He's right there. Yo! What the f? Dummy head. I shoot this with my bow and arrow all the time. Where'd he go? Switch it over to my flashlight. 1 sec. Oh, I just heard something from this side over here.
I'm telling you, he's leading us into a trap.
100%. 100%. I don't know. He's definitely leading us to a trap though. Here, hold this flashlight. I need both my hands, just in case. He threw one on my head. I use this for like, you know, I shoot it with an arrow and everything. Dude, he's definitely leading us to a trap, man. I'm telling you. I don't think we should be pursuing this guy at nighttime. You know what I mean? I think it's a stupid idea. He went through the trail. I think he's going back to his actual fort, though.
And then he ran away. He's trying to lead us to some place.
Yeah, he's leading us back to the fort. Here, take the camera. Hey, try. Oh. You gotta zoom in on that? Yeah. I seen him run across down the end of that trail.
I think the camera got him too.
Dude, this team of freaking flashlights is amazing. Alright, well, clearly he's leading us to like a trap, right?
Yeah, dude, I don't want to go deeper.
You don't know what he's got set up, like booby traps. You know what I mean? But we haven't been to his campsite. We should definitely go in the daytime. Dude, imagine the trees like set up to fall on us.
I have a feeling, man. I have a feeling. There's some booby trap he's leading us into. I don't want to take a step further, man.
Like, you guys know I'm really like psychic. Like, I always have like this intuition that something bad's gonna happen, and every bone in my body's telling me to not go. And I don't think I want to be honest.
The woods feel darker, heavier, more hostile with every step. They know they can't stay. Moving quickly, Mo and Moshi pack up their gear and leave the forest altogether.
I don't think we should let that deter us from continuing this adventure.
No, Mo, I don't want to be here, man.
You actually don't want to be
here? I really don't want to be here right now. Like, it was fine when it was earlier, but not right now.
Bro, but we said
the guy was leading us into booby traps, and you want to go towards him?
Here's the thing. I never told Moshi about the camel guy until we got here.
He told me we're doing a camping video.
I told him we're doing a camping video. I'm almost playing with my hair now. Fuck, it's so annoying. I told him we're doing a camping video, but I didn't tell him about the camel guy or any of like the dangers that have been happening out here. I mean, like, if I told you, you probably wouldn't have showed up. He's the only one available that can help me, like, come and do this. I don't want to do this by myself. I don't want to get shanked. I'd rather you get shanked before me. Stop. No, I'm just joking. I don't want you to get shanked either.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You actually don't want to do this?
I can't. I don't want to be here right now, Mo. Please, bro. Like, you know me. I'm always down to help out, but this is getting too much. We saw him with a flashlight. He was running. He set booby traps. He threw the head, man.
There's a bright light up. How about this? We come back in the daytime and we find this piece of shit and get rid of him.
And let's end it. And let's call the cops or something. Let's just deal with this the proper way. Like,
Yeah, let's do that.
Constantly looking over their shoulders as they escape into the night. Even now, one question remains unanswered. Who was lurking in the shadows that night? And why were they being watched? Austin Armstrong is a YouTube creator known for pushing himself into unfamiliar places and uncomfortable challenges. His videos are all about stepping out of his comfort zone, exploring new environments, and taking on experiences most people wouldn't dare attempt. But on one particular solo camping trip, he found himself tested in a way he never expected.
Hey guys, Woody here, and today I just decided to go camping. Now, as you can kind of sort of maybe see, it's kind of raining, but that's okay. I just went out in the middle of nowhere at this campground at Patoka Lake in Indiana. I'm the only one out here. Obviously, it's kind of cold and it's projected to get colder and it's raining. But I like a challenge whenever I camp, and I've camped in much worse weather conditions than this. So I figured, yeah, why not? So here's my little site right there. So I'm gonna make the most of what I have here and see what I can do with it.
Facing a fear he had no way to prepare for, Austin decided to camp alone at Poca Lake in Indiana. Despite the cold, relentless rain, he wanted the adventure. The harsh conditions were, to him, part of the experience.
The rain, here's my tent. I need to figure out how to set a fire in the wetness of what I have here. I moved this table. I'm probably gonna move it over there closer to the tent. So the tent over here is under let me just move. Under some trees. That'll protect it for the rain and stuff. I'm thinking maybe I can move the fire pit over here as well. That's underneath some of these trees. Maybe that'll make it a little bit easier. But as you can see, like, there's nobody here, which is good. That's what I was looking for, just kind of getting away from everything. Well, I guess I can do a demonstration of how to start a fire when everything is wet, because I'm having some problems here.
When he arrived, the entire campground was completely deserted. At first, the emptiness felt calming, quiet, peaceful, almost comforting. He pitched his tent beneath a tree for shelter from the rain and began the slow, frustrating task of getting a fire going.
I did it. So I took some branches and stuff, and so if you don't know, here's a little like tip, okay? So whenever you're camping and you're trying to make a fire, make a teepee. You see how it's like in a triangle shape? You see how that? I mean, there's a reason in all the kids' TV shows that like it's a teepee, you know, like the campfire is shaped like, you know, like a pyramid or something. That's how you want to do it.
It took him more than an hour, but eventually he managed to spark a small but steady flame. When the last traces of daylight faded, he realized he needed more firewood, or the only source of light and warmth he had would die out.
It's been about 2 hours now since it stopped raining. I still need to find more wood, so I have my headlamp. I just need to find some bits and pieces just to keep it going. We're going pretty strong, but it's getting pretty thin, if you can tell, like down in the bottom of it. You can't really see anything out here, so yeah, I have this flashlight. It's got a good beam on it. So I found a stack of firewood out this way. Okay, you can kind of see that light right there. So that's an outhouse. So if I follow this light where my light's going here, there's a former campfire that was over here, and somebody left a decent stack of firewood.
With a flashlight in hand, he stepped into the pitch-black woods. At a nearby empty campsite, he spotted a stack of wood left behind by someone before him. But just as he was about to grab it, a sudden thunderous boom ripped through the darkness.
So it was mostly wet. What the? I don't know if you guys just heard that, but like something literally just went boom over there. Holy crap.
Austin froze. A shock of fear ran straight through him. He whipped his flashlight in every direction, scanning the trees, the shadows, the gaps between them. Nothing. Not a single sign of movement.
I'm trying to find a rational explanation too. Like, maybe it was the wood. But it doesn't look any different than when I left. And I don't think that this would make that kind of sound. What was that? I hope that showed up like on the camera. Let's see that. Okay, this is better. Come on, surely there's not something out here right now. I will be upset. Hello? Oh my god. I would be so upset if there's something out here right now. But that was a very large boom and snap. It sounded like there was something like climbing through something. So it could have been an animal. But I'm praying to God that it was something collapsing in the fire. But it was very, very loud.
He tried to convince himself it was something harmless, maybe a log collapsing in his fire, but even he knew the truth. The sound was far too loud.
So, update. I found out what that crash was earlier. What it was, so I put the sign had fallen down in the middle of the road that said like, safe area, no dogs, no weapons. And so I set it up against one of the tables, like one of the camping tables. So I set it up against that because it was in the middle of the road. And I look over whenever I went out to go to the bathroom or something, and it was laying on the ground. So I was like, wait a minute, that makes sense. It was just a sign the entire time.
Too sharp, too deliberate to be that simple. Eventually, he found a possible explanation. Earlier in the evening, he had propped up a large sign near his campsite, and now it had fallen over. The discovery eased his nerves for a moment, but only for a moment. As the night dragged on and the rain poured harder, that uneasy feeling crept back in. Every gust of wind, every small sound in the woods felt amplified. By 1 a.m., panic finally overwhelmed him.
Here's the update. It's almost 1 a.m. and I bagged out of the tent because it's pouring and I got paranoid as hell. I'm not gonna lie. It's freaky out here by yourself. I'm not gonna lie, it's true. But that's okay. I'm warming up this the vehicle here, kind of charging my phone just in case I need to contact anything. I just figured I would be safer and warmer and better off in this van than in a tent. I don't know, it seems like common sense to me. But I'm still out here, still going strong. I'm trying my hardest to keep going.
He admitted he was paranoid as hell, abandoned his tent, and locked himself inside his van for the rest of the night. He made it through safely, but the question from that night has never truly left him. Was the boom really just the sign falling? Or was that a comforting story he told himself to stay calm? Whatever the real explanation, that moment, the echoing crack in the middle of the dark woods, stands as a chilling reminder. When you're completely alone out there, every unknown is a threat, and every sound feels much closer than it should. In this encounter, we return to Lee, the creator behind Abandoned World Explorer, a channel known for capturing unsettling moments during late-night explorations, often using unconventional methods to find locations. On February 26, 2021, Lee and his friend Dan decided to revisit an app they had avoided for a while, Randonautica. What started as a way to take their minds off personal struggles quickly turned into something far more disturbing than either of them expected.
Maps. What's it saying? There's a thing with these maps. It's literally like... What should we do? Just walk over and down, or do you want to go straight down? I can't even see nothing but the thing. I don't really want to keep this away from too much because honestly these really freak me out. So I can whack the light right up. But literally just it's freezing. You're not cold? A little bit. You're hearing good, 'cause mine's shocking. Oh, it's real nice to see the ground. Honestly, people, explorers, this is my sort of thing. I'm not really into all this, but I just feel like
After following the app's directions, they eventually reached the marked destination. But instead of finding anything obvious, the area felt off. There was no clear point of interest, just subtle details that didn't sit right. Footprints, disturbed patches of ground, and an unnatural stillness that made the entire place feel occupied, even though no one was immediately visible. The deeper they looked, the stronger that feeling became. It didn't feel random. It felt like they had been led there. Then the sounds began.
There's someone over there. There is. Sure, that's a tent then. Some people there. Hello? Chainsaw? Ain't chainsaw. Is that chainsaw? That ain't a chainsaw, Dan. Huh? That's not a chainsaw. Hey? Oh, run! Dan, run! Get out of it. Fuck leg. Where the fuck were they? Where are you, man? Unlock the car. Mate, we were standing in there.
At first they were faint, barely noticeable, but slowly they grew clearer. Movement echoed from deeper within the trees, followed by what sounded like multiple individuals shifting in the darkness, staying hidden, watching. And then came something far more alarming. A sudden mechanical noise, aggressive and loud, like a motor kicking to life. Possibly a chainsaw, or some kind of powered equipment. Whatever it was, the intent behind it wasn't clear, but the timing was. That's when it hit them. They weren't alone, and they weren't supposed to be there. Without hesitation, Lee and Dan made the decision to leave, fast. As they retreated, the sounds continued behind them, almost as if reinforcing the message. Keep moving, don't stop. Whether it was a warning or something more deliberate, they didn't stay long enough to find out. Because in a place like that, distance is everything. Even after they escaped, the questions didn't go away. Was it just a coincidence? Random coordinates leading them into someone else's space? Or was there something more unsettling about how precisely they were guided to that exact location?
Guys and girls, literally, we've just got away so quick. We've made a phone call to the police. The police are going to go there now. They told us to stay away. I don't know, it was so hard to see anything, but I didn't see the tent, but Dan see the tent 100%, like, and he kept saying there's a tent there, so yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to see at this end of this footage where you put it back on the PC. But this is why I don't do random nautica. So many times we go out and find nothing, and another time we come across weird stuff like this, and I literally just can't get over it, to think that straight away, like, I'm not even kidding, I don't know, Dan said they was sounding like they was chopping up stuff. It sounded like they were digging in the woods, like I could hear is this but maybe, as you said, chopping up stuff for a fire, I don't know. But there was a tent there. Dan's records, you definitely see two. I literally could not see anyone. My eyes, I don't know why, I don't know if it's this camera light walking through the woods was too bright, but...
Out there, far from any oversight, the line between coincidence and danger becomes dangerously thin. And if they hadn't left when they did, if they had stayed longer, or worse, tried to confront whatever was hiding in the trees, things could have gone very differently. In a remote woodland setting, surrounded by unknown individuals with unclear intentions, Even a brief encounter can escalate fast. One wrong move, 1 second too slow, and the distance between being watched and being approached disappears. Lee and Dan managed to leave without direct confrontation, but not without impact, because that night forced a realization. Not every place is empty, and not every encounter is accidental. Sometimes the real danger isn't what you go looking for. It's who might already be there, watching, silent, unseen, and fully aware. Grizzly Gaz is a beloved YouTuber, known across the UK for his fearless camping adventures in some of the country's most remote and unsettling locations. Time and time again, he's proven that very little rattles him, but on this night, even Gaz would be pushed to his limits. With his trusty French bulldog, Fendi, by his side, Gaz heads deep into the heart of a dense, mysterious forest. His fans eagerly await another thrilling installment of his outdoor series, unaware that this trip will unfold very differently from the rest. These woods carry a dark reputation. Local lore whispers of ancient pagan rituals and eerie gatherings once held beneath the canopy. Stories passed down for generations, warning of something sinister that still lingers. As Gaz arrives at a spot known only as the Downfallen 3, an ominous feeling settles over the forest. The air feels heavier, the silence feels deliberate. Nightfall approaches. Gaz sets up camp as the last traces of daylight fade away. The forest grows still, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. When darkness fully blankets the woods, the atmosphere shifts, thick, oppressive, almost watchful. Hoping for a quiet night, Gaz and Fendi retreat into their tent. But tranquility never comes.
Flies. Alright, come on. Why is this light gone off? Oh, there we go. It's picking back up again now. So I hope there's no widow makers following us. That'd be no good, would it, mate?
Strange noises begin to echo through the darkness. Footsteps, faint whispers, subtle sounds that don't belong in a place this remote. Worst of all is the overwhelming sensation of being watched. With every passing minute, the tension builds, leaving viewers wondering what they would do in Gaz's position. Then, without warning, something strikes.
Oh, fuck! 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 Fucking hell. Where the fuck? Fendi! Fendi! Come here, mate. Oh, you're alright. What the fuck was that? Fucking flies.
The tent suddenly collapses, caving in on Gaz and Fendi. Panic erupts. Gaz scrambles free and stumbles into the pitch-black night, unable to see more than inches in front of him. The forest feels endless, suffocating.
Right, come here. Come here. Right, I'm going to turn this light off. I'm going to have to go back and get my stuff, man. My car keys are in there as well, in the tent.
In the dead of night, shaking with adrenaline, Gaz hurriedly packs what he can, abandoning the tent entirely. With Fendi close behind, he flees the woods, their rushed footsteps the only sound breaking the eerie silence. They escape to safety, but the questions remain. What was lurking in that forest? And what was it that drove Grizzly Gaz and his loyal companion to run for their lives? Welcome to the Woods. UK is a channel built on a deep love for wild camping and bushcraft. Its creator, Carl, finds comfort in the quiet corners of the British woodlands, where solitude and simplicity shape every moment. His videos are normally calm and reflective, Slow breaths of nature captured on camera. But on February 26th, 2024, that peace shattered. A series of disturbing events transformed his familiar refuge into a place marked by fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. It started with what should have been a routine visit to his long-term project, a small cabin he'd spent countless hours building from broken pallets hauled deep into the forest.
I'm glad I caught that on video, to be honest with you, and had I not been out hunting with my catapult, I probably wouldn't have come through here. I was just coming through just to check on things. I know there's a lot of deer in these woods. I did have one creepy night back in January, hence why I was building the cabin. There's a lot of strange things that happen in here. To be honest with you, that doesn't look like a lot of work that's laying on the floor there, but back at the yard, 50, 60 pallets out in the rain, breaking them down with a pallet breaker, denailing them, getting everything cut to size, ready to bring in, because everything's been manually brought in by hand. It's just been on the shoulder and brought in, so...
When he arrived, the sight stopped him cold. The cabin, his sanctuary, his pride, his progress, had been completely destroyed. Shock and anger hit first, but they were quickly drowned out by a far more chilling thought. Who or what had done this? Searching for answers, Carl collected footage from the 6 trail cameras he'd set up around the area. Hours of wildlife clips went by before he finally found something that made his stomach drop.
I'm absolutely shattered. I spent most of yesterday night looking through trail cam footage. Cameras 1 to 6 that are out in that woodland have been brought in, and yesterday evening I spent from about 8 o'clock all the way to early hours sifting through from camera 1 to camera 6.
On 2 separate days, a strange figure appeared near his cabin, a dark shape lurking at night, someone in camouflage during the day. The landowner confirmed no one else had permission to be in those woods. That revelation only deepened the unease. Determined to uncover the truth, Carl packed his gear and headed back into the forest.
It's got darker a lot quicker than what I thought it would, and it's drawn in pitch black, inky black. I'm almost on top of the site of cabin number 2. That is where cabin number 2 is, or was, should I say. You should all remember, it should be put together by now. I was proper agitated that someone had done this to that.
As dusk settled, frustration drove him toward the ruins of his cabin, but suddenly a sharp crack sliced through the silence. The unmistakable sound of wood splitting, as if someone nearby was chopping with an axe. Fear washed over him, so intense he turned back and left for the night.
I don't know if you can hear it. I didn't see anything, but I could hear like wood splitting, like as in like someone chopping wood, like with an axe or something. Right, okay. I don't think that's got anything to do with poachers, that noise. That's pretty much what happened to me last January.
But he wasn't ready to give up his woods. A few days later, he returned, this time prepared to stay.
So I'm basically going to be setting up my OEX tent right here where you see now. I have got a little gadget to set up as well tonight, just so that I can sleep a little.
He pitched his tent beside the destroyed cabin and set up a tripwire alarm connected to a loud gate siren, determined not to be caught off guard.
So this is the little gadget I'm going to be using tonight to let me know if there's anyone about after dark. It's basically a gate alarm that farmers use. It's a 1-inch cartridge, 12 bore, non-lethal. There's no way it can hurt anyone unless you actually put your face to it, which in that case there's a little plate that covers it over. I'm going to strap that to a tree and then run a trip line all the way around the immediate vicinity of my camp at about waist height. If that pin gets pulled from there because of the trip line being activated, this will let a charge off and it will hopefully either scare away whatever it is that's creeping about and it will wake me up. So that's it, all set. If this is pulled out, that will release this trigger, which will then fall down onto the cartridge and make a loud bang. I'm now going to trace this around the trees at about waist height and then completely activate this during the night time.
As darkness fell and heavy rain hammered the forest, he settled in with tension coiled in his chest. And then, deep in the night, he woke to sounds outside, Not the alarm, footsteps, slow, deliberate, and then a loud banging from somewhere about 40 yards away. Frozen inside his tent, he listened. The tripwire stayed silent, meaning whatever was out there knew how to keep its distance.
I've not got a clue what that noise was. There's about 8 different noises, sound like someone was walking around about 40 yards away. I had no bang off of the alarm, but definitely a banging in the woods.
Circling him from just beyond his defenses. Was it the same figure from the trail cam? Was the person who destroyed his cabin now stalking him through the trees? No clear answer has ever surfaced. And while Carl's determination is undeniable, his story is a chilling reminder that in the wilderness, you're never truly alone, and you never really know who might be sharing the woods with you. Angelo, the creator behind Exploring with Angelo, is no stranger to dark and abandoned places. His channel is built on investigating haunted locations and pushing himself into environments most people would avoid. But on this night, he chooses to return to a place with an especially disturbing reputation.
At Cult Forest, we were here, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, roughly, maybe not even. But when we were here, we actually discovered something, proof that there is some sort of cult coming through here. A lot of locals, like I've explained before, have been telling us stories of seeing weird people coming in and out of the woods here late at night, sometimes even during the day.
A forest rumored to have ties to past cult activity and strange rituals. He's been there before. He knows the uneasy feeling that hangs in the air. But this time, he decides to push things further. Alone in the notorious forest, Angelo brings along an Ouija board, hoping to make contact with whatever presence people claim lingers there. It's a risky decision, especially with no one else around. The isolation only amplifies the tension.
I changed a battery. I don't know how that battery died that fast. That was odd. Seems to be getting battery drained from something, which, to be honest, doesn't happen very often with this particular camera. I could have sworn for a second I just saw something move. Happens a lot here. A lot of almost like shadow figure type of things. I don't know what the hell is lurking in here, but I think there's some evil shit.
Late in the evening, he arrives at the edge of the woods. With every step deeper into the forest, the atmosphere feels heavier. The trees seem taller, the silence more deliberate. He sets up his tent and tries to settle in, but he knows why he's really there. Soon, the investigation begins. With his spirit box switched on and the Ouija board laid out in front of him, Angelo starts asking questions into the darkness. At first, there's only static, the quiet hum of the night. Then the peace shatters.
Sometimes not, sometimes it does. It's usually easier with 2 people, but unfortunately we ain't got 2 people. And even if I invited Brad, he probably wouldn't do this with me. There's no freaking way. It's called a Ouija board. Just heard something move outside the tent. Is there somebody outside the tent? Yes or no? Shit. Why does it keep going at 0? It also sounds like something just walked up to the front of the tent. What the fuck? What is that?
Like.
Okay, I'm gonna end the session for a second, okay? I'm closing off the session.
Angelo suddenly feels it, a presence outside his tent. Not a sound at first, just a feeling, like someone standing just beyond the thin layer of fabric separating him from the forest. His body tenses. He grabs a knife, bracing himself for whatever might be out there. Then a bizarre sound echoes through the woods.
I don't see anything. Well, that was weird. It literally walked as it walked. It literally sounded as if...
Stacy.
What the f was that? Nope, no. That's... I don't know what the hell that was.
Sharp, unnatural, and unlike anything he's heard before. It sends a chill straight down his spine. Trying to regain control, Angelo once again attempts contact with the Ouija board. He calls out, asking questions into the darkness.
This communication chain with you again.
Sickness took me.
Oh my... Okay, what is that? What keeps doing that? I'm telling you right now, something is out here.
Zachary.
The air feels charged, almost expectant. Unable to ignore it any longer, he steps outside, his flashlight slicing through the pitch-black forest. The beam scans the trees, the ground, the empty space between shadows. But whatever made the noise remains hidden. He retreats back into his tent, trying to steady his breathing. Putting the Ouija board away, he reaches for his phone, hoping a distraction might calm his nerves. Instead, things escalate.
It almost sounded like something was moving out there. Am I gonna see something if I open this door? Is it gonna show itself to me? Yeah. Oh, what the f*** that was that sound again? What the fuck? What the fuck? Shit. What was that?
When he activates the Spirit Talker app, the atmosphere shifts again. Words begin to come through, unsettling, timed too perfectly with the noises outside. Then another sound pierces the night, freezing him in place. His flashlight becomes his only source of comfort, the thin beam of light barely holding back the overwhelming darkness around him. This time, Angelo makes a decision. He steps outside one final time, determined to confront whatever is there. But standing in that darkness, surrounded by towering trees and unanswered questions, he realizes something important. Some answers aren't worth the risk. Choosing safety over curiosity, Angelo quickly packs his gear, abandons the investigation, and races back to his car. The engine starts and he drives away from the forest without looking back. Whatever was out there that night, it's something Angelo is relieved he never fully discovered. This encounter comes from the YouTube channel Paranormal Discovery, where Lomar documents his solo adventures into remote forests and abandoned locations, places often rumored to be haunted. On October 23rd, 2025, he set out on what was supposed to be another routine overnight camping trip. His destination, Freetown State Forest, a location long associated with disturbing legends. Stories of satanic rituals, disappearances, and unexplained events. But what began as a simple night in the wilderness quickly took a darker turn.
Right now I'm actually in the Freetown State Forest again, and instead of actually going to the Assonet Ledge, I'm actually going to be going to a completely different area. I am by myself today. It's more of the people and the weirdos and the lunatics in the Bridgewater Triangle than, what the hell was that? Yo, something's being like thrown. Anyways, it's more of the people and the lunatics within the Bridgewater Triangle that I've actually encountered, and like even more so than the bears or the Bigfoots or the Pukwudgies and the cryptids. Like, the people are actually weird in these forests. I don't know what it is, but yeah, we're gonna be embarking very, very shortly. Just actually pulled up right now, so yeah, we're gonna take a drive and yeah, get going. Yeah, my point exactly. I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm gonna get going. Okay, let's continue on here.
As Lomar arrived at the forest entrance, he noticed two men standing nearby. There was something off about them, something that didn't sit right, but he chose not to dwell on it. Still, a quiet concern lingered in the back of his mind. He couldn't help but hope he wouldn't run into anyone dangerous deeper inside. That fear wasn't unfounded. On a previous visit, he had encountered a deranged individual who chased him out of the woods, turning that trip into a desperate escape. Trying to push that memory aside, Lomar continued driving before eventually hiking into the forest with his gear. After reaching his chosen campsite, surrounded by dense, shadowy trees, he began setting up his tent. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. But nothing immediately seemed wrong. Then, without warning, the silence broke.
Checked the weather, seemed to be good, but it kind of rained the first 2 days that I got here, and I'm really not looking forward to having any more rain because I don't want to lose out on videos. So at least if I have this and it's up, if it rains, then we can be underneath it and the video can technically be on still. So yeah, I've never... What? Hello? Okay. Thought I actually heard something like in there. I'm like tripping out right now. Okay. I'm getting hungry though.
A chilling sound echoed through the trees. It resembled a distant, strained weeping, almost human. It was close enough to send a cold shiver down his spine. Lomar froze, listening carefully as the sound slowly faded. Moments later, more strange noises followed, unfamiliar, unnatural, and impossible to explain. The uneasiness in the air thickened. He tried to brush it off, convincing himself it was just wildlife, and continued setting up camp. But the situation escalated. The weeping returned, brief but unmistakable.
Oh man!
Run now.
This was getting sketch. I'm eating
I
noodles.
am Desdemona.
Hi Desdemona.
I do not understand.
I was gonna say, I'm eating noodles in the Bridgewater Triangle right now. I feel very vulnerable, like very, very vulnerable right now. All right.
The noise was him.
The noise was him? Okay. I'm getting a little confused here.
Thank you for listening. I'll throw something.
Guys, what the f is that? Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck? What the fuck? Guys, someone's down that path. Is someone getting murdered right now? Oh my god, I think someone's actually getting murdered. What the fuck? I'm like genuinely curious right now. I hope someone's not actually getting murdered. That sounded like someone in help.
Then came a series of loud, violent knocks, as if something was striking wood with force. It didn't sound like anything he had heard before. Before he could even process it, a low, agonizing moan echoed from the darkness. A male voice filled with pain, raw and disturbing. For a moment, Lomar wondered if someone nearby needed help. Then, just as suddenly, everything went quiet again. He stood still, heart pounding, trying to make sense of it all. That's when he remembered something unsettling. Earlier, his spirit talker had produced a name, Desdona, along with a chilling message. Run now? At the time, it seemed random. Now, it didn't. Shaken but trying to stay composed, Lomar continued with his camp. Soon after, the noises returned, this time louder and more chaotic.
I'm like so curious now, like what if there's someone in need of help? They're just like luring me in. It's like almost scary. I swear to who's down there? I just saw someone. Oh shit. Okay, that's a real fucking person. Who's there? I'm armed. I'm carrying. Who are you? I'm armed and I'm not playing around. If you attack me, I'm gonna attack you back in self-defense. I'm carrying. No fucking way. What is going on? Now I'm tripping, like what if that wasn't a person? But that was definitely something. Whoa! 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 Yeah. Fuck. Oh. Who's there? Look, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm not fucking waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm like nervous. I'm really nervous right now. Hello? Oh. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna pack up. That's it. Something's here.
A mix of moaning voices and strange whooping sounds echoed through the forest. The whooping caught his attention. It's often linked to reports of unknown creatures, but he couldn't be sure. Thinking someone might genuinely be in distress, he cautiously moved toward the source. That's when he saw it. A dark, shadowy figure moving between the trees in the distance. It wasn't caught on camera, but Lomar was certain of what he saw. As he stepped closer, a loud impact slammed into a nearby tree, shaking it violently. His anxiety spiked instantly. Every instinct told him the same thing. He was not alone. Then came the screams, loud, clear, and unmistakably human. Multiple voices, mostly male, crying out in pain somewhere just beyond the reach of his flashlight. Panic took over. Lomar turned and ran back to his campsite, abandoning any thought of investigating further. He quickly packed his gear, determined to leave. But the sounds didn't stop. They followed him, echoing through the trees, lingering just outside his tent. That was enough. Lomar rushed out of the forest and retreated to his van without looking back. He didn't wait for answers. He trusted his instincts, and that decision may have saved his life. Even after escaping, the mystery stayed with him. Whatever was out there didn't feel random. It felt calculated. Every sound, every movement, it all seemed intentional, as if something was trying to lure him deeper into the woods. The screams weren't just terrifying. They felt designed to draw him in. One theory is that Lomar encountered a mimic, something capable of imitating human voices to trap its prey. Not just to scare, but to hunt. Another possibility is even more disturbing. What if the screams were real? In isolated forests like this, crimes can happen unnoticed. It's possible that somewhere in the darkness, something horrific was actually taking place. Alone, unarmed, and deep in the woods, Lomar could have walked straight into something far worse. And then there's the warning, Desdona, a name meaning ill-fated death. Maybe it wasn't random at all. Maybe it was a warning from something or someone who had met a tragic end in that very forest, trying to prevent history from repeating itself. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Lomar didn't just leave the forest that night. He escaped it. Dan Lee, the YouTuber behind Cursed Urban, is known for pushing boundaries, venturing deep into abandoned places and setting up camp in forests most people wouldn't dare step foot in. But on this particular night, his adventure would take a turn he never expected. He drives nearly an hour and a half to reach a forest infamous for its haunted history and whispers of strange rituals once performed beneath its trees. As the sun dips below the horizon, Dan sets up his campsite and lights a small fire, the flames flickering against the growing darkness. Soon after, camera in hand, he ventures deeper into the woods. The forest feels wrong. It's eerily quiet, so quiet that even the smallest sounds seem amplified.
Dude, that's gunshots. I hear gunshots coming from over there. Oh, that's never good.
Crickets chirp in the distance, but beyond that, there's nothing. No wind, no movement, just stillness. Then, less than 5 minutes into his walk, gunshots suddenly echo from across the lake. The sharp cracks tear through the silence. Dan freezes.
You didn't even want to say it, but while the camera was off, of course, I know I'm going to hear it in the comments, I heard some sort of weird, sound coming from that way. It sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like. It's nothing I've ever heard before. Something really weird, like a chattering sound almost. But there's no animal that I know of that makes that sound. All right, we got Spirit Talker on. Let's see if we get some.
It's unsettling, but instead of turning back, curiosity pushes him forward. He tells himself it could be hunters, but deep down, it doesn't feel right. Moments later, another sound stops him in his tracks. Something faint, something strange. He He quickly lifts his camera and moves toward it, trying to pinpoint its source.
There's been... Oh, that scared me. That scared me, dude. There's some hikers on a trail adjacent to mine, and oh, dude, my heart is...
The deeper he goes, the darker it becomes. And then, laughter, not distant, not imagined, close.
I know all these people camping can see me, for sure, with my lights out here, but... I don't want to push my luck and get too close to them. I know they're far away, but still.
It echoes through the trees, sending a chill down his spine. This time, instinct wins over curiosity. Dan decides it's time to head back to camp. Back at his tent, he tries to calm himself. Maybe it was just people in the woods. Maybe his mind was playing tricks on him. He zips himself inside the tent and settles down, hoping the rest of the night will pass quietly. But peace is the last thing waiting for him. As he drifts off to sleep, something moves just outside. A faint beam of light washes over the fabric of his tent, like someone slowly dragging a flashlight across it. Dan doesn't notice. He's already asleep. That is, until the roar of motorcycles rips through the forest. Engines rev loudly, circling somewhere nearby. Dan jolts awake, heart pounding. The noise feels too close, too deliberate. Now fully alert, he decides to try something risky.
Hello? Hello? I don't know what that was. I think it was just an animal, but... It's just really, really weird that we get others were scared, and then we hear something in the next minute outside the tent. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go review the footage real quick that I took while I was sleeping.
The next morning, after reviewing the footage he recorded during the night, Dan makes a disturbing discovery. While he slept, someone, or something, had been lingering dangerously close to his tent. Terrified by what he sees and hears on the recording, Dan wastes no time. He packs up his gear in a hurry, leaves the forest behind, and vows never to return to that place again. On May 22, 2021, YouTuber Junkyard Fox uploaded what many consider one of the most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera, and honestly, he was incredibly lucky to walk away from it. He had traveled out to West Texas to spend the night in a primitive shelter he had built himself during a previous trip. At first, everything seemed normal. His mood was positive, the weather was manageable, and he confidently showed off the structure, explaining how it would protect him from wind and sun, even if it wasn't completely waterproof. As clouds rolled in and light rain began to fall, he took it all in stride, treating it as part of the challenge of being outdoors. For him, this wasn't just camping. It was about testing himself. After reinforcing the shelter and cooking a simple meal, he settled in for the night, expecting nothing more than a quiet evening in the wilderness. But just a couple of hours later, everything changed.
So we're going to be getting a little bit of rain. Now, that's just part of it. In my opinion, that's part of, testing yourself as an outdoorsman, as a prepper, as a bushcrafter, whatever you want to call it. It's not always going to be sunshine and fat steaks. You got to rough it out and you got to get uncomfortable. So if you guys remember last time that I stayed here, the winds were just really strong 30-mile-an-hour winds coming into the shelter, so I was cold. This time it looks like I may get soaked. So luckily I do have a poncho in my haversack in case it gets crazy. But yeah, that's part of it. So the roof is good to go. Now I gotta take this apart and kind of make this better because this is terrible. And once again, there could be some creepy crawlers on there. By the way, I'm not boring you with all this work, but whenever I'm doing all this stuff, because there may be scorpions or something like that, I do have my my work gloves here. And in case you're wondering what's in this box, I did have just yucca seed pods when we were... Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours. Then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and they shot my truck. They legitimately shot the windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. They're just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess.
In the middle of the night, he was suddenly jolted awake, not by weather, not by animals, but by the sound of a truck nearby, followed by gunshots. Disoriented and alarmed, he quickly realized what was happening. A group of intoxicated strangers had driven into the area and started firing at his parked truck. The windows were completely shattered. He had no idea who they were or why they were doing it. All he could hear was loud music and chaotic behavior in the distance. It was pure recklessness, and it could have easily turned deadly. One stray bullet in the wrong direction, and this situation could have ended very differently. Instead of a peaceful camping trip, it became a close call with real danger, proving that sometimes the biggest threat in remote areas isn't nature, but people. In 2024, urban explorer Dave entered an abandoned wing of a hospital that had been shut down for nearly 9 years. The structure was unstable, damaged by time and neglect, yet what waited inside would shake him more than any exploration he had ever done. The facility had officially closed in 2015, but signs of its final days remained disturbingly untouched.
It's a human brain. Oh, there's a decomposing human brain on the side. It's so creepy down there. And microscopic. Obviously for looking in more in detail into stuff. I'm just shocked there's so much stuff here and a human brain literally left on the side decomposing. What has been going on in here? I'm still shocked. All the human DNA of so many people. Oh, look at all these. film, isn't it? Liquid compound for microvascular injection. Shake well before use. So I'm guessing this stuff they're injecting it to stop it rotting so much. Preservative, is that right? If I'm wrong, completely adjust me on the links below. Oh, that's an injection just left in the sink. Oh, this place is rotten. Just moving along from these tools. There's that box here, look, disc cutters. Oh, we ain't gonna find this stuff at B&Q, guys. Or a hardware store. I can't believe there's an end-of-life unit here. Yeah, so up there, it's where, if you was really terminally ill, you're going to die, they'd put you in the ward there, basically ready to go straight in the fridge. Makes you wonder what was in there. Look at the crime in here. But then this has been abandoned for 9 years. I won't stay in here, mate, you get all tops. Here at least before it was obviously daytime to get in. We had to get in before it was before the sunrise, because the rest of the hospital was still active. Well, there's buildings just outside there that are all closed down, and obviously, if you imagine this table as a hospital, you come in here at the entrance, all this part, say, is still used, and then all this completely abandoned. Notes in this cupboard. It looks like they've put bones, like decaying bones in there. Like they've put something in with this liquid. But it's definitely bone in there. Oh. Didn't see that. There's a bit of a knuckle of a bone there. Oh, I can't believe it's just literally all here like this. Obviously looking in this room as well, there's another here. The place has been left abandoned like this. Do you think how many heads was laid on this? It's a scalpel right there, guys.
Equipment, records, and remnants of medical work were still exactly where they had been left. This wasn't just an abandoned building, it felt like a sealed moment in time, preserving something that should never have been forgotten or ignored. As Dave exited the hospital, he stressed the importance of immediately sanitizing and discarding his protective gear. The environment he had entered posed serious health risks, filled with materials that should have been properly secured and removed long ago. One question continues to haunt Dave, and everyone who has seen his footage. How could a modern hospital shut its doors and leave behind human remains, biological samples, and sensitive records in an unsecured building for nearly a decade? No clear answers have ever surfaced, but the footage Dave captured stands as disturbing evidence that something went deeply wrong during the facility's closure. Whatever failures occurred back then remain locked inside those abandoned rooms, slowly deteriorating, unseen, and forgotten in the dark. Rody is a YouTuber who documents his minimalist lifestyle, living out of his 2003 Tacoma while traveling for summer work. Most nights, it's peaceful, quiet, and uneventful. But one weekend would leave him questioning every decision he'd made about where to park for the night.
My camper shell is carpeted on the top here. I noticed that when it gets really cold at night, my camper shell will actually kind of contain some heat. It's usually maybe about 15 degrees warmer in here than it is in the outside. Another thing I'm not totally sure if I posted in the original video, but my windows on this camper shell are screened. So it allows me pretty much to open them up, get some fresh air in, but not have the bugs come in. Really works good, and that's big during the summer when bugs are out. I'm back living at my house now mostly, but was out this past weekend and was headed home.
After a long day on the road, he pulled off the freeway and found what seemed like a perfect spot. A small, empty parking lot tucked away in the dark. The camper shell on the back of his truck, with its tinted windows, offered privacy and just enough comfort to get some rest. From the outside, it looked like any other parked vehicle, silent, unremarkable. But around 1:30 in the morning, Rhodey woke to the sound of footsteps. Slow, careful. Someone was circling his truck. Through the tinted glass, he could barely make out a figure. A man holding up a phone, snapping pictures of his vehicle.
A little bit alarming. So what you'll see here in a second, he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures. It looks like my license plate or something like that. I'm not sure why he was doing this. So I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to park there and he was taking pictures of my license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning. And he didn't look like a security guard or anything like that.
The stranger had no idea anyone was inside. He made several slow laps, each one feeling more deliberate, more sinister. Then the man returned to the back of the truck. A bright flashlight beam suddenly cut through the darkness, scanning across the tinted windows, searching for a way to see in. Rhodey froze for a moment. Then, acting on pure instinct, slammed his hand hard against the glass. The reaction was instant. The man jumped back, startled, then bolted into the night, vanishing between the rows of parked cars. Rhodey didn't wait around. He started the engine and drove off without looking back.
So this is a good example of why I never really like to sleep in like parking lots and stuff like that. During the summers, I live out of my truck a lot, but it's always at either work or campsite. Okay, guys, real quick, look at my door right here, and you'll notice it's a little bit cracked open. And so I think what happened is I forgot to, I didn't forget, but I just didn't close it all the way when I went to bed. And so it was locked, but it was still not totally closed all the way. So this is kind of how my door was. You can see it's closed. There's a little gap. And it's locked. You're not going to get in there. But it's definitely noticeable from the side and everything.
Later, as the adrenaline faded, he realized how vulnerable he'd been. His privacy curtain, the one separating his cab from the camper shell, had fallen during the night, leaving him completely exposed. The only thing protecting him had been a layer of tinted glass.
So another really nice thing to have if you are going to do some car camping, and I've talked about this in my previous videos, is a limo tinted windows on your camper shell. Not only will this not let people see into the back while you're sleeping, but it'll hide any belongings that you may have in the back. Alright, so that's about it. I just wanted to share my experience. I know some of you might think sleeping in your car or truck or whatever, car camping, might sound a little bit odd, but it's really a growing community right now. This kind of living off the grid thing, and that's not exactly what I do. I do it because I work as a guide during the summers, so that's primarily why I have this set up, but it's still really cool. I can go out and travel, and I pretty much always have somewhere to sleep. Although, like I said earlier, I wouldn't suggest sleeping in random parking lots. I always try to stay at campsites, friends' places, work, places where I know that I'm allowed to be and that I know that I'll be safe at. But that's about it for this video. Check in my next video. I'm going to do some mods to my camper shell. So I'm going to do a little bit of renovating. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. I know I talked about in my last video how I really like the setup I have so far. But I'm going to change it around a little bit. I think I can get it a little.
That night was a stark reminder of how unpredictable life on the road can be. Bun, better known online as Camp Like On, is a Belgian outdoorsman who combines two things he loves most: spending time in nature and turning those adventures into beautifully edited videos. His stealth camping trips are usually calm, peaceful, and uneventful. But in February of 2023, one of those trips took an unexpected turn, so unsettling that it forced him to abandon the campsite immediately. The video began like any of his others, a familiar intro, some exploring, and nothing out of the ordinary. Bun wandered through the area, showing viewers an impressively built bridge over the water, before choosing a quiet spot beside the river to set up camp. After settling in, he scouted the surroundings just to be sure he was alone. Everything seemed perfectly normal. A few hours later, he started cooking dinner over a small fire. Sausages, fish, beans, a simple camp meal. But just as he finished preparing everything, something caught his eye. Something that made his stomach drop. Beyond the tree line, a car had appeared, its headlights still on, and then 2 tall, dark figures stepped out, each holding flashlights. Startled and unsure who these people were, Bun ducked behind a patch of bushes, staying as low and quiet as possible while keeping his camera rolling. His heart was pounding. He had no idea what these men wanted, or why they were approaching the woods at this hour. For a moment, it looked like the danger had passed. The car turned around and drove off. Bun exhaled in shaky relief. But it didn't last long. Seconds later, the vehicle returned and took another path, one that led directly beside where he was hiding. With each step the men took, Bun could hear his own breathing getting louder. They were getting closer, much closer. A few minutes later, they found him. But the truth ended up being far less sinister than what his imagination had prepared him for. The 2 men were police officers responding to an anonymous call about someone camping illegally in the woods. Bun placed his camera on the ground and recorded the entire encounter. The officers eventually left, but not before taking 2 of his cameras, and even his passport, with them to the station, claiming it was to ensure he would show up later. When Bun arrived at the station, he finally got an explanation. What he was doing was illegal, but they decided to let him off with a warning. Still, the message was clear. If he ever attempted a stealth camp there again, the consequences would be far more serious. Bear, the creator behind the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, has built a reputation for fearless adventures, taking his viewers deep into forgotten places and sites whispered to be haunted or crawling with cryptid activity. His calm yet daring approach has earned him a loyal following, but on one particular trip, that bravery would be tested in ways he never expected. What started as a routine exploration soon turned into one of the most unnerving experiences of his life. This time, Bear set his sights on a notoriously haunted forest, a place infamous for sightings of Bigfoot and eerie entities locals call crawlers, creatures said to lurk among the trees. Adding to the unease, another explorer had recently shared a terrifying encounter here, one involving both the so-called crawlers and armed men, before removing the footage entirely. Even before stepping into the forest, Bear wasn't feeling his best. He mentioned still being physically unwell and emotionally drained from a recent visit to a nearby cemetery. His chest felt tight, his head ached, and anxiety was already creeping in. Still, his determination outweighed his discomfort, and he pressed forward into the misty woods. As he ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in around him. The pain in his head worsened, his stomach began to twist, and every step away from his truck seemed to amplify the sense of dread. The air grew thick, heavy, as if the forest itself was aware of him.
Lots of different water sources out here. Oh man, I just remembered the crawlers in the trees. Oh. Something was just moving over there. Over there. I gotta pull my hat up. Something's moving around. Okay. Let's go to the bottom of the creek bed here and hang out here for a minute. I just heard breathing right behind me. That was a growly breath.
Twilight descended, and with it came the sounds. Faint whistles echoed through the trees, followed by the unmistakable sound of heavy breathing, low, guttural, and close. Shadows shifted in the corners of his vision. The calm curiosity that usually fueled his explorations quickly gave way to fear. Then, it happened.
So my original plan... Oh, I just seen a light, or an eye. Duck behind that tree. Are you kidding me? Did you guys catch that? I seen an eye right in here. A big eye. It was orangish yellow. Oh! Oh, there was it again. There it was again. No frickin' way, man. That thing sounded terrifying.
Bear spotted it. A large, distinct eye peering from behind a nearby tree. It was glowing with an orange-yellow hue, too big, too deliberate to be animal. The moment he locked eyes with it, the forest erupted with a deep, menacing growl. Whatever was watching him wanted him to know it was there. Panic surged through him. His instincts screamed to run. Fighting nausea and pounding pain in his head, he turned back toward his truck, moving as fast as his shaky legs would carry him.
I'm not worried about filming it. Just worried about moving fast and safe. My head is really hurting me. Ow. My head. And my stomach. What is going on? Ow.
Every rustle behind him sent chills racing down his spine. When he finally reached the safety of his vehicle, Bear sat for a moment in stunned silence. He had originally planned to stealth camp that night, but that idea was gone. Between the physical distress, the sounds, and that unmistakable eye, he knew something wasn't right. He started his engine and left. The mystery of what he encountered in that forest remains unsolved. Maybe it was a cryptid, maybe something else entirely. But one thing is certain, whatever was out there left a mark on him. The physical pain would fade, but the memory of that glowing eye and that guttural growl would linger long after. For explorers like Bear, this story stands as a chilling reminder. Sometimes the unknown is better left alone. This encounter comes from the channel Grizzly Gaz, where Gaz documents his wild camping and van life adventures, often venturing into remote locations while sharing the history and folklore tied to those places. Known for his deep love of the outdoors, Gaz frequently brings his dog Fendi along on these journeys. On March 8th, 2026, he headed out on another solo wild camping trip, this time high up in the remote moors, an area long associated with ancient pagan history and eerie local legends. What was meant to be a quiet escape into nature would soon take a more unsettling turn.
Where are you off? We're going up this way. Come on. You alright? You're struggling, aren't you already, kid? And I think one of those stones up there is called the Sphinx. Or I could just be making all this up. You never know, do you? Look at her. Loving life, aren't you, mate? No. Go on. Here we go, look. The staple of every wild camper's diet. Whoop. Steady on, Gaz, steady on. Ooh, that little treats. Yummy nums. It was like a grey colour before, but
Well, it still looks grey. It is more of a olive greeny colour.
As night fell and darkness fully settled over the landscape, Gaz retreated into his tent to rest. The forest grew still, the kind of silence that usually brings calm, but not long after, something unusual broke that quiet.
What is that? Hear that? Look. It's probably a train in distance. People still out walking dogs and that.
At first it was faint, the soft, distant sound of wind chimes drifting through the woods. Curious, Gaz stepped outside and looked around. That's when he noticed two figures walking up the hill with a dog. Assuming the sound had come from them, he didn't think much of it. They appeared to be passing by, and nothing about their behavior seemed immediately threatening. Satisfied, Gaz returned to his tent. But only minutes later, something changed. This time, the noise came from much closer.
They just stood outside my tent talking. Mate, it's nearly 10:30 at night.
He began to hear movement just outside his tent. Subtle at first, then clearer. Footsteps, then voices. Multiple voices, speaking in low tones just beyond the thin fabric of his shelter. Gaz stayed completely still, listening carefully. But he couldn't make out what they were saying. The voices sounded strange, muted, almost deliberate, but undeniably close. That's when a disturbing realization set in. This wasn't the first time someone had come near his tent that night. The figures he had seen earlier were much farther up the hill. Now, they were back, and closer than before. It felt as if they were circling his campsite. Uneasy, Gaz chose not to respond or reveal his presence. He remained silent, hoping they would leave.
Weird. I don't know if it's some sort of bird or if it's actually someone screaming. It's far away, like. I'm too tired for this, man. Well, as long as it don't get closer, I'll be alright. Well, it's 4:15 now, and I can't get back to sleep. Look how cold it is.
After some time, the voices faded, and the forest returned to silence. Eventually, exhaustion took over, and he drifted into a restless sleep. But the night wasn't over. Gaz later claimed he heard distant screaming, echoing across the moors, faint, but enough to wake him. These sounds were never captured on camera, leaving their source unknown. At the same time, subtle clacking noises could be heard outside his tent, adding to the growing tension. What troubled him most was the pattern. The people he had seen were initially far away, yet somehow they kept returning, each time closer to his camp. Their movements didn't feel random. It raised a chilling question. Why would anyone repeatedly approach a lone campsite in such a remote location, especially in the middle of the night? It's possible their intentions were harmless. Maybe they were just passing through, unaware of how their presence appeared. But given the isolation of the area, the timing, and their repeated proximity, the situation felt far from normal. Climbing that high into the moors at night isn't something people typically do without reason. And then there were the screams. Whether they were connected to those individuals or something else entirely remains a mystery. In remote places like this, the line between harmless and dangerous can shift quickly. What begins as a quiet, peaceful night can turn tense without warning. And while many fear the unknown or the supernatural in such locations, the reality is often more grounded and sometimes more dangerous. In isolated areas, far from help and witnesses, the most unpredictable threat isn't always wildlife, it's other people. Gaz made it through the night unharmed, but the intentions of whoever or whatever was out there remain unknown. And in a place as vast and empty as the moors, some questions are better left unanswered. Creepy Outdoors is the kind of YouTuber who claims to fear nothing. He actively seeks out the most haunted forests, the most isolated trails, and the darkest corners of nature. But in May 2024, one particular trip would test even his limits. On what began as a quiet spring day, he ventured deep into the woods with his loyal dog, Mika. The forest seemed calm, almost inviting. After walking for a while, they found the perfect clearing and set up camp. It felt like any other adventure, peaceful, controlled, routine. But as night fell, everything changed.
Creepy Outdoors here. By myself camping, as usual. And I'm a little shook up right now because I heard some strange sounds. Stay here, Mika. Stay here. It sounded like some sort of growling. I'm not sure. I wasn't recording. I was just enjoying my night, and
the woods grew darker, thicker. The sounds of daytime faded into an unsettling stillness. Sitting beside the campfire, he tried to enjoy the solitude, the soft crackle of burning wood, the only thing breaking the silence. That peace didn't last.
Hello? Shh. It's okay. I'm just talking to my dog right now. What the? Mika, stay here. Stay. Come, stay. Stay here, good boy. Good boy, stay, sit down. Hello? What the? There's been a lot of dead trees around. Maybe it's Mika. Oh no. Come on. Mika! Oh no. Mika, come back. Oh shit. This dog is... Come here. What are you doing? Stay here. What's out there, boy?
From somewhere deep within the forest, strange noises began to echo. At first, they were faint, easy to dismiss, but they didn't stop. They moved, they shifted positions, almost as if something was circling just beyond the trees. He grabbed his camera, trying to capture whatever was out there. The noises grew louder, closer, leaves crunching, branches snapping. Low, unidentifiable sounds that didn't quite resemble any animal he knew. the firelight suddenly felt small compared to the vast darkness surrounding him. He called out into the night. No response. Just silence.
For now. Hello? Is anybody out there? Out of all my camping trip, I've never been this freaked out. Mika! Come back. What are you doing? This is not like him. What are you doing? Are you alright? What's going on, bud? Is your paw hurting? Come on back. Come back to the fire. Come. Come on.
A heavy, suffocating silence that felt worse than the noises themselves. Mika's behavior only made things more disturbing. The usually calm and friendly dog was tense, staring into the darkness, occasionally letting out low, warning growls.
I have no idea what the hell that was. If I hear anything more, I'll keep you guys posted. But for now, this is Creepy Outdoors.
Whatever was out there, Mika sensed it long before he did. His heart began to race. Was it a wild animal stalking the campsite? Or something else entirely? Something watching, waiting, just outside the fire's glow? Trying to stay rational, he remained by the campfire for the rest of the night, unwilling to venture further into the dark. The camera kept rolling, capturing his growing fear and the strange atmosphere around him. Then, without explanation, he logged off. No final update, no follow-up video that night. Just silence. Creepy Outdoors continues to explore the unknown, but this particular experience stands out. A chilling reminder that even the most fearless adventurers can feel small when surrounded by darkness. So, the question remains, would you dare to camp alone in a place like that? Dan, the voice behind Exploring with Fighters, is known for his bold adventures into places steeped in history, mystery, and alleged paranormal activity. Alongside his friend Flex, he set out for an overnight investigation in one of England's most infamous locations, the Screaming Woods. Locals warn people not to enter after dark, claiming the forest is cursed by restless spirits. Some even post signs and block paths to keep curious explorers away. But that only made Dan and Flex more determined to find out the truth for themselves.
Okay, so we're at the Screaming Forest right now. This place is apparently the most haunted forest in the UK. I've been here once before with the overnight crew and stuff kicked off. We are camping here. We're camping overnight, but there's only me and Flex. Now, we do have a spare tent and sleeping bag inside the roof box. Catch me there, you already know. But right now, we're just packing up. We have a ton of stuff, and that's why we need that extra person as well, because look at state. I've got so much firewood. I've got like 4 bags and sleeping bags and tents, and we might take a quilt because it is going to be -degrees tonight. So but yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. It looks like it might have just genuinely fallen. Oh no, it's not. Nope, it's been cut. It's been cut purposely to destroy this entrance. They don't want people going inside of the woods for some reason. So you ready for this?
I was ready. Yeah. I've got the cable ties.
Oh, you got the cable ties. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to carry all this, but it's that wood, it's heavy as hell.
Their preparation for the night was extensive. They packed heavy firewood, tents, sleeping bags, and a full range of paranormal investigation gear, from REM pods and motion-activated cat balls to CCTV cameras mounted high in the trees. Even reaching the forest wasn't easy. They discovered the entrance had been deliberately obstructed, as if someone didn't want anyone going in. Still, they pushed forward, setting up camp deep within the woods. Once darkness fell, the forest revealed its true nature. It began with distant screams, faint at first, then clearer. The sound echoed through the trees, sharp and human-like.
Wait, no. Tesco's bags are invincible. I'm trying to break it.
If that was an answer to the bag, it would snap good.
I know. The hell? Right, so while I'm putting this up, I will tell you, we might not, well we might do, we might venture off a little bit, but we're going to conduct most of the night from the tent. I'm going to place CCTV cameras on the trees. I'm going to screw them to the trees. I'm also going to put REM pods and other devices around the tents. I'm going to set up a basically perimeter of REM pods. I think I have 3 REM pods. So I'm going to set them up in a triangle formation and other devices as well. Almighty screams. Now it could be just kids messing around, but we still are quite early. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, so I'm assuming that's what it is.
Hopefully. If it isn't, then
Bro, it could just be kids messing around, but there's still screaming coming from in the woods.
Yeah.
At first they assumed it was a prank, maybe someone trying to scare them off. But as the night went on, the screams changed, turning into deep, mournful wails that seemed to come from different directions. Then their equipment began to react. The REM pods flashed. The cat balls lit up and rolled as if something unseen was brushing past them. The devices formed a perimeter around their camp, and it soon became clear that something was moving within it.
Try to keep an eye on it. We keep hearing a man wailing. But
yeah,
one there.
There.
One there. Oh no, right, the REM pod just went off a bit then. And that, oh, there we go. And the cat ball's going off. Won't stop.
Attempting to communicate, Dan and Flex began asking questions. "Are you male?" they asked. The REM pod instantly activated. "Did you die here? Were you found hanging?" At the last question, the device's light glowed bright red, its highest reading. Dan immediately recalled the local legend of a school teacher found hanging in these woods centuries ago. When they asked if it was the teacher's spirit, the pod flashed again, an apparent confirmation. The interaction grew even stranger. When asked to stop the cat ball from flashing, it did. Instantly. When asked if it needed help or was trapped, the devices pulsed with intensity. It was as if the entity was responding intelligently, communicating through the modern technology meant to detect it. Intrigued and unnerved, Dan and Flex decided to take things a step further.
Did you die in these woods?
Died in the woods. The atmosphere has changed here.
Alright then, I've got a question for you that'll amp this up a bit. Were you found in a tree hanging?
Oh. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, it's right on it, bro. That's right on it. That's red. Flashing red. It's very rare it does that.
What's that mean?
It means it's like literally on it. Holy shit.
Were you a teacher?
A teacher?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute why I've said that. Were you with... Oh.
It's on it again. Whatever you're doing, you're causing a reaction here. Because, what do you mean a teacher?
Right, so I happen to know that there's, I'm pretty sure there's 11 or 13 ghosts
right.
in this village, right? And one of them in Screaming Woods was a school teacher, a local school teacher, and he was found one day while he was meant to be in school. He was found in the forest, hung by the pupils that he taught at the school.
Really?
So if that's you that's here, could you set that off again? I don't mean any harm. I'm just interested to find out if you are still here. Oh,
there we go. Bro, you can see the way it did it. It like literally grabbed it, because it went through all the colours and then grabbed it.
Oh,
Whoa, it's getting closer.
Can you stop that, please? Stop.
Well, it stopped the cat ball. Someone else here. Or if you, even if you need help, or, I mean, do you need help? Oh shit. Oh, bro. It flicked for all of them. It's gone. Why would it tell us that it needs help and then leave?
It understands what they are, and it is using them to respond to us.
Which is weird if you think about it, because don't forget, if this truly was that teacher and he died in the 1800s, how the hell would he know what they are?
Maybe, because remember where we are, and remember how many people come and try and do this.
Leaving their campsite behind, they ventured deeper into the dense forest with only night vision and flashlights. The temperature dropped sharply. They felt surrounded, as if eyes were watching from every direction. Whispers and echoes followed them, but no visible figure appeared. Eventually, feeling the tension rise, they made their way back to camp. Even as they tried to sleep, the forest refused to rest. Faint wails and muffled voices carried through the night, too distant to understand, yet too distinct to ignore.
So, and the only thing that we're going to have a torch with us. Feels like we've been watched from numerous angles.
Yeah, just the way it's laid out. It's like, I don't know, it is really cold.
Very dense.
Yeah. It feels different.
It's like an eerie silence, but knowing something is here.
But there is an echo.
There's a horribly cold breeze coming from here. I mean, we've heard that maybe it's just one of the things you can't get it to do on command. Maybe it's just a...
By morning, cold and exhausted, the two began packing up. While they hadn't witnessed any physical apparitions, the intelligent responses from their devices, especially those connected to the legend of the hanging teacher, left them shaken. The Screaming Woods had lived up to its name. Their overnight investigation didn't deliver the dramatic visuals they expected.
Yeah, me too.
I've left all the equipment running, even the REM pod and that. Everything's over there. Music box is still out. Everything's out. Fire's dying down. It's looking a lot darker around us. Put that light there.
If I hear anything and you're still asleep, I'll wake you up.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna shut the main compartment. Just this netting. Just like falling asleep, I could hear things in the distance, like wailing noises.
Did you hear that mumbling?
Yeah. What was that?
Like a distant mumbling.
Yeah.
Ages ago when I think I was walking around on my own.
But what they heard and recorded was far more chilling. Something intelligent, something aware, had been with them that night, and it seemed to be crying out for help. In October 2016, YouTuber TGF Bro and a group of friends decided to explore an abandoned school hidden somewhere in Ireland. The location was rumored to be haunted. Confused and uneasy, they questioned who could have placed them there and why. The further they explored, the heavier the atmosphere became. What they eventually discovered would haunt them long after they left, leaving them shaken and unable to sleep for nights. Panic set in when they realized they weren't alone, and they were soon chased out of the building by an unknown figure. The truth remains hidden within those abandoned walls, waiting for someone else to uncover it. Meet Bear, the creator behind the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, known for heading into remote, often unsettling locations with little more than a camera and basic survival gear. On December 4th, 2024, Bear ventured deep into a wooded area under freezing conditions. His goal was simple: document the night and push his limits in a harsh winter environment. But what started as a controlled survival challenge quickly turned into something far more intense.
Light either, but this one's pretty decent. Oh boy.
Whoop!
Oh my goodness. Forget, I think the cemetery's actually in here a bit good ways too.
As darkness settled in, Bear relied on minimal equipment, a wood burner for heat, blankets for insulation, and just enough light to navigate. But the deeper he moved into the forest, the more the isolation began to weigh on him. It wasn't just the cold, it was the growing sense that something else was out there, moving, just beyond his line of sight. The frozen ground made silence impossible. Every step he took echoed through the trees, each crunch of frost sounding louder than it should. And in between those sounds, there were others.
Whoop! Holy smokes, that was rocks. That sounded like a rock clank. Really close. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh my goodness. Whoop! Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh. Oh. Crap. I don't know what that was. That sounded like a rock hitting a rock clank is what that sounded like. Sorry if you hear my breathing. I got the camera like right in front of my face so I can talk. I didn't want to talk loud.
Faint noises began to surface from the darkness, subtle at first, but persistent. Shadows shifted in ways that didn't feel natural, suggesting movement. Intentional movement. At one point, Bear caught a glimpse of something crossing the frost in the distance, something quick enough to vanish before he could fully process it. His breathing slowed, careful, controlled. He scanned the area, trying to stay quiet, trying to understand what was happening. But the forest didn't feel empty anymore. It felt aware.
And this has a terrible feel to it. I know I heard a voice too. 100%. Did you guys hear that? Barking spider. That surely wasn't me. Whew, man, it is pretty. Oh, this might be it. I think we found it. Now, last time there was like 3 or 4 deer. Let's see if we can see any deer. What is that? What is that? Oh, it just moved. What is that? Oh, it just moved.
Near the tree line, Bear caught sight of a figure. For just a second, it looked human, but the intensity of the encounter made it impossible to fully process or capture clearly on camera. It was there, and then it wasn't. The presence lingered, moving intermittently, always just out of reach, as if it was tracking him without ever revealing itself. At that point, Bear made the only decision he could. He left. Avoiding any direct confrontation, he retreated from the area, but the experience stayed with him, because what he encountered that night wasn't something easily explained. It raises a question that lingers long after the camera stops rolling. When a place feels completely empty, how do you react when you suddenly realize it isn't? Frank, the man behind Franco TV, is no stranger to exploring the places most people avoid after dark. But in this episode, he ventures into one of his most unnerving locations yet. A secluded cemetery buried deep within the woods. His goal is simple: to spend the night there and document any signs of paranormal activity. But What he experiences instead goes far beyond what he ever expected. A night filled with strange noises, eerie discoveries, and an overwhelming feeling that something unseen is watching him. From the moment Frank steps into the forest, the atmosphere feels wrong. The trees crowd around him, his flashlight barely piercing the darkness. And the silence feels alive. It's not an empty quiet. It's a silence that waits.
Where's my flashlight? So I have a good look around this place. That's creepy. One thing for sure is that every time I come out here, I always get like this Blair Witch vibes. The other thing, I'm already hearing something. Okay. I'm already spooked out going through here. I just heard a knocking. 100% I just heard a knocking. Hello? My life. There's a knocking coming from within the forest right now. I heard it right over here.
The first sounds are easy enough to dismiss. A branch breaking, maybe a distant animal. But soon, the noises grow heavier, more deliberate. They echo through the trees in a way that feels almost intentional. Still, Frank pushes deeper into the woods, clinging to the hope that whatever he's hearing is something supernatural, not something human.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That's somebody's puppy. That's their dog. They're unburied for some reason. Someone like unburied somebody's dog. That's his teeth right there. Poor thing. One thing that makes me nervous on going in here is that as soon as you step in, it's like all the trees stop moving, the birds stop moving. All the animals are just watching me as if they're waiting to see what's gonna happen, you know? Like if they're watching like another predator getting ready to get me. And that would be like I'm just thinking of the mountain lion, but I am getting other things that are not mountain lions. So right now I just heard what sound like branches and something kind of shuffling through the forest right in front of me. Damn it, it sounded big too. Listen. What the hell is that? I'm hearing bangs now.
When he finally reaches the edge of the cemetery, the air itself seems to change. The forest stills. No rustling leaves, no chirping insects, just an eerie stillness that makes every breath sound too loud. Then, from somewhere beyond the tree line, a voice-like sound breaks through. It's faint, drawn out, almost human, but wrong.
Coming from here.
Oh, that's creepy. It sounds like somebody saying you. The thing is that vegetation is super dense right in front of me, so I can't really see past that area. It sounds human. Hola.
The thick vegetation blocks his view, and whatever is making the sound stays hidden. Despite the growing dread, Frank refuses to turn back. But the deeper he goes, the more the tension builds. The sounds seem to circle him. Footsteps, movement, whispers. The realization hits him. Whatever's out there isn't hiding anymore. It wants to be heard.
So I just had to back out of the forest for a second. This happened again with the cameras off. This is all happening like randomly. But I just heard what sounded like a loud sound of a baby crying deep from the forest. I want to see if you guys could hear it. I'm going to keep quiet for a second. What? Someone's in there. Some definitely's in there. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. Let's turn on the IR. Holy shit. I am literally creeped out to the bone right now. What the f*** is that? I am ready to run. I got all my gear on me just in case. Holy shit.
Feeling surrounded and increasingly uneasy, Frank makes a practical decision. He checks his GPS and reroutes through an off-road trail that might lead him safely to the other side of the cemetery, giving him both a better approach and a quick exit if things go wrong.
I'm gonna walk a little bit closer. What the fuck? Something's moving in there. So now I'm parked here towards the other side. This is getting closer towards the city area. I had to go off-road with this thing. But I found a better route. So that way I'm a little bit more safer so I could just get the hell out if worst case scenario type of thing. This is the forest right here in front of me. I made it all the way back out. That's one of the entrances that leads you to it. I am going to be honest, I'm scared. I am a little bit closer right now. I'm just next to the truck. And I am still hearing this thing saying Aki. And that means that I'm right here or over here. Like over here. And at the same time, well, see, there it is again. And I'm hearing movement in the forest, I swear, and I'm not seeing anything. But I could hear movement in there, and it's like in multiple areas. I do not feel safe going inside right now by myself.
Hello?
I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. There it is. You hear it? I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer again, but I can't go inside. I'm like watering up right now for how freaking creepy this is.
Yet, even near his truck, the noises continue. Soft voices, shifting positions, moving from one side of the forest to the other. Frank scans the tree line, but no one's there. Just sound, just suggestion.
I see it. Oh my god, I just heard it over here. I'm gonna zoom out. Again, this is just another part of the cemetery on the backside. But there's still more that goes way deeper inside. But I don't feel safe. Okay, so I've made it closer towards the front. I am grabbing every bit of energy that I can to do this, because I'm already like kind of freaked out. I wanna finish this. I'm just happy I found another way I could come in here and not have to go through the same way from back there. There's the knocking again. ¿Cómo se llama? There's somebody back there. There's people here. All right, at this point now, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's about 4 to 5 in the morning right now. The sun's going to be up soon, and I am freaking out. My anxiety levels are through. What the f*** is that? Holy shit! Nope. Give me a second. That was close. I am not sure what the hell is going on with this.
Finally, at the cemetery's entrance, he decides to call it a night. What began as a search for the paranormal ends with more questions than answers. Frank came looking for ghosts, but what he found felt far too human. So, what do you think was out there that night? On May 6th, 2017, 13-year-old YouTuber Spencer Brown set out to explore an abandoned location, documenting the site with photos and expecting nothing more than a fun adventure. But everything changed when he began to feel an unsettling presence.
And this part of me, Colin's down now. The boy's done it. There's police! That's why I got down. Wait, be quiet. I can see everything from on that roof. I can see the police station, everything. Could you? Yeah. Did you not hear the sirens going off when you were sat there? Yeah. That's why I shouted out, oi, there's police. Shh. Shh. Sorry? There's more of us way left. Wrong there. Police, right there, they just straight to us. We've got it all on camera, run. Police, we've got it all on camera, they're coming round. There's police. Are you sure? Yeah. Shut. Please let me go. Just go. Aye. I've got to come. No, you're not. Fucking man.
Moments later, Spencer realized he wasn't alone, and what started as curiosity quickly turned into fear. Nick, an explorer known for documenting his journeys through eerie, forgotten places, takes on one of his most unnerving adventures yet. During a camping trip with friends, he decides to explore a network of narrow underground caves hidden deep in the wilderness. At first, it seems like a fun challenge, but as the group descends deeper, the passageways tighten to the point where Nick has to remove his backpack just to squeeze through. His friends move ahead, their voices echoing faintly in the dark, until suddenly, they're gone. When Nick calls out, no one answers.
Ребят! Ребят!
The cave swallows his voice, and just like that, he's completely alone. With no other choice, he crawls forward on his stomach, the ceiling so low that clusters of sleeping bats hang just inches above his head. Every tiny sound bounces off the stone walls, amplified by the confined space. The deeper he goes, the stranger things become.
Плиты с дырками. Ой, блядь, какая хуйня там. Ой, бля, я так испугался, ребята. Смотрите.
His camera starts glitching without reason, flickering as he films a small alcove in the wall, a spot that looks ordinary but clearly isn't. Moments later, as he climbs over a rocky ledge, pebbles begin falling from above, almost as if someone, or something, is throwing them down.
Сейчас вам ее покажу. Что с камерой? Как будто моторчик камеры завелся, начал. Вверх в такую же гору надо подниматься. Ох. Ребят!
Then, his flashlight begins to fade. The darkness becomes absolute. A sudden sharp noise cuts through the silence. Loud, close, and terrifying. Instinct takes over. Nick bolts forward, disoriented and unsure where he's running.
Я хочу сказать, что здесь тупик, и мне надо возвращаться побыстрее назад.
The twisting tunnels turning into a maze of panic and confusion. Eventually, he gives up searching for his friends and decides to retrace his path toward the entrance. But when he finally reaches the spot where he left his backpack, something's off. The gear has been moved, rummaged through, as if someone else had been there.
Ой, все. Да ну подождите, ребята. Что за бред? Блядь. Что за... Что за... Меня все вытащили из рюкзака. Вроде ничего не взяли. Ребят, здесь кто-нибудь есть, ребят?
Later, while reviewing his footage, Nick notices something chilling. Two faintly glowing eyes in the darkness behind him. Whether they belong to an animal, a reflection, or something far more disturbing, no one can say for sure. The footage raises more questions than answers. So, what do you think? Did Nick stumble upon something truly unexplained deep within those caves? Or was it all just a series of eerie coincidences amplified by the dark? Among those who've tested the legend is a YouTuber known as Kevin the Custodian Ghost Hunter. After 16 years of investigating haunted places without capturing anything truly unexplainable, he and his daughter Jade decided to visit Devil's Tramping Ground. What they recorded that night wasn't planned, and it wasn't something they noticed until later.
Get out here in a hurry.
As Kevin panned his camera across the clearing, something faint moved along the edge of the tree line. Subtle, but unmistakable. A shifting shape, almost human in outline.
Get out here in a hurry.
When they later reviewed the footage, there were no signs of editing, no glitches, nothing that hinted at manipulation. Whatever it was there. Some say it could have been mist or fog catching the light, but it didn't move like fog, it moved with intent. So, what did Kevin and Jade really capture that night? Was it something paranormal lurking just beyond the cursed circle? Or simply a trick of light in a place where legends never die? One thing's for certain. Sometimes it's not what you see in places like this that haunts you. It's what's watching, unseen, from the darkness just beyond. From the YouTube channel Explore With Me, Marlo C. shares a story that begins like any other peaceful adventure, but ends in a way she'll never forget. Marlo is no stranger to solitude. An experienced outdoorswoman, she's known for venturing deep into the wilderness, exploring forgotten trails, and testing her camping gear far from civilization. But this particular trip broke that pattern. It was a gray, rain-soaked day when she set out on another solo camping journey. The forest was blanketed in fog, the steady drizzle softening every sound. It was quiet, almost too quiet. After a long hike, she found what seemed like the perfect clearing. Flat ground, tall trees surrounding her, and just enough open space for her tent.
Any guy lines, so after we get it set up, we're gonna have to attach all the guy lines. This ought to be fun. It's not like a pouring thunderstorm rain like it was earlier, but it's still raining.
She set up camp, shaking the rain from her jacket, unaware that the peaceful day ahead was about to unravel.
I do have the tent up, and I'll turn this around and show you a little bit more detail, but it didn't come with guy lines. And since it's raining, I don't even know if I'm going to put them on or if it's needed right now. So I'm going to leave it without guy lines. And there's a reason for that. I was going to do it, but now I'm not going to because I want to make another video regarding guy lines. And it has something to do with my other tent, this tent, and we'll get into that in another video. But it's not really windy at all. It's just a light rain right at the moment. So.
As dusk settled, Marlo brewed a cup of tea and listened to the gentle tapping of rain against her tent. The forest felt still, alive in its own quiet rhythm. But when night came, the serenity changed.
I just want to say goodnight. It's coming up on 11 o'clock. As you can see, I have one mosquito flying around in this tent. I'm going to get him. So anyways, I am going to get some sleep, hopefully, as soon as I get this mosquito. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. I thought I heard like footsteps or something. I've had an uneasy feeling all night. Hello? You ever get that uneasy feeling and you don't know why? I mean, I feel like I'm in like a safe area, but I don't know. we should just take a walk or something and check it out. I've never bailed on a camp. I mean, it's crossing my mind, but I've never bailed on a camp, whether it was a regular camp, a stealth camp, or a wild camp. So oh man, I don't feel like getting out. Let me get my boots on. Oops, I got on stroll. How the f get that off there? Jeez. Let's take a walk. Hello? You just ever get that feeling that you're being watched? And I don't mean by, like, you know, animals or wildlife or anything like that, but you just get that eerie feeling. Yeah, well, that's the feeling I'm getting. And I could have sworn I heard, like, you know that when like a branch sort of breaks from like a footstep?
The mist thickened, the air grew dense, and the silence turned unnerving. No birds, no rustling, no distant sounds of life, just stillness. Then came the feeling, the unmistakable sensation of being watched. It crept in slowly, then consumed her thoughts entirely. Trusting her instincts, Marlo began to pack up her gear, her flashlight trembling slightly as she worked. Her breathing grew uneven. On camera, her voice shook as she explained that this was the first time she'd ever broken camp in the middle of the night. She mentioned hearing footsteps circling nearby, and seeing a pair of glowing eyes reflecting in the dark.
Especially a wet one. And oh boy. Yeah, I don't know, you know. I've never bailed a camp. Sorry, I'm just like wiping my face. I've never bailed a camp, but I've just got that like negative energy feel or vibe or whatever it is, and I could have sworn I heard like a crunch of a footstep, or it's just eye shine from an animal right back there. But yeah, so I wonder if you can almost hear my heartbeat. Listen. I don't know if you could even hear that. I don't know why I did that, but my heart is just beating out of my chest.
For someone as seasoned and composed as Marlo, that fear spoke volumes. Whatever was out there, human or not, had frightened her enough to abandon her fire, her tent, and the safety of her plan. And that's what makes her story so haunting. Because in the wilderness, no matter how experienced you are, logic can fail you, but instinct, that primal whisper that tells you to run, might just save your life.